We don't care who you wanna ship. We're gonna read your fic and we're gonna give it shipwrecked. Ooh, 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 shipwrecked.
Welcome to Shipwrecked, the show where we bring to life the internet's best and worst fanfiction. We are your hosts, Cris, Ryan, and Taneene, and this week we are going to be reading Harry Potter fics.
Yeah, and a stunning twist of events, the surprise Harry Potter fic is the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about this episode. So I first got introduced to the Harry Potter fandom, I think, the way most people did. Like getting the books read to you in like first grade by your teacher.
Yes! Audiobook
Yeah.
on tape, third grade, elementary school, motherfucking life-changing experience.
Exactly.
Oh!
So I have to say that of all of the fandoms, Harry Potter has shaped me the most. I'm a bona fide Harry Potter nerd. I've been to Harry Potter convention. I have more Harry Potter paraphernalia than I would care to admit. I've cosplayed numerous times as Harry Potter characters, most famously Draco Malfoy, and he's basically my idol. I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say either.
Yeah. Unabashedly, I love Harry Potter. I love all things Harry Potter. The only thing I don't like about Harry Potter is the cursed child. So.
Oh, you mean the not Harry Potter book?
Yeah, the fanfic that got written, but is somehow an official canon. The time travel. I have a lot of feelings about this.
Oh no.
I mean, so I read the first 4 books 5 times each as a child.
Yeah.
And then the 5th book I read 3 times. And then after that, I just sort of forgot what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I read them once and then just sort of, like, immediately deleted them from my brain because I was like, I'm over this.
I don't know what you're saying because I don't understand the concept of reading a Harry Potter book any less than 10 times.
Yeah. I just sort of, like, I'm excited to, like, maybe show a younger generation them or something, but like otherwise I probably will never revisit them, mostly because like I'm so over Dumbledore as a character and I'm so over like how like annoying the wizarding world is. Like, oh, sorry, I can't use a ballpoint fucking pen, excuse me, you know, like, ugh.
No, I feel you. There's a line, I'm going to paraphrase it, but in one of my favorite Drarry fics where Harry accidentally pushes Draco off a cliff and he's like he's laughing maniacally and he's just like, it's that simple. You can be a motherfucking great wizard and all you have to do is push, which I feel like describes the problems with the wizarding world. Is like someone should have just showed up with a Glock and shot Voldemort. None of this.
You didn't even need to shoot with a Glock. Dude, it's a baby. You pick it up and you just drop it. You don't even have to drop it out of a window or like effectively. You just pick it up and you just drop it. It's done. The baby is done, dude.
You're advocating for killing Harry and I was advocating for killing Voldemort, but you know, tomato, really.
All I'm saying
It's the same thing.
Fixing the problems in this story are a lot simpler than they realize. That's all I'm saying. I'm obviously not here to say, Shipwreck does not, advocate for the dropping of babies. That's not what I'm saying.
Usually,
I'm just saying.
Depends on the baby, I guess.
If they wanted to avoid an entire 8-book saga, Voldemort could have just picked the infant up and, I don't know, groomed it to be its next, like, fucking, successor or something.
Well, I think the best part is the cursed child is actually just a time travel fic where they get a time turner and they go back to, like, thwart Voldemort.
No, I'm not about that. They can keep that to themselves.
It's just weird, like, how the whole thing goes down. And Voldemort has a daughter. She's like the antagonist. This is all canon. This is the weirdest part, is that like it's literally like the wackiest fanfic you could have found online with like all like Voldemort's daughter is just a giant Mary Sue character. Yeah. She's even described
wish-
as having like blue streaks in her hair.
I
Amazing.
only wish that Voldemort's character was more like the a Harry Potter musical version.
Yes.
I think I would have been able to handle that more. I mean, I never read The Cursed Child because, again, like I mentioned, after a while I just fucking gave up.
Like I haven't touched the books since grade school, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
That's when I read them, and my teacher took them away because I was going through the star tests way too fast, so I could keep reading, and she didn't like that. So she
didn't
took
want
away
you
my book.
to read.
How rude! She didn't want
Miss
you
Bridges.
to.
Yeah, fuck you, Miss
You
Bridges.
listen to
Yeah.
our podcast. Yeah.
Naming her directly by name.
Yeah,
I'm
we have
calling her
no
out directly by
fear,
name. Like, this
no
is where we're at on this
shame.
podcast. We do not fear anybody.
Elon Musk. Yeah.
We're
I don't
calling all of
know.
them out. Miss Bridges, Elon Musk.
Do you
We're coming
think-
for you.
What did
Do
we
you
call
think maybe
Elon
we
Musk?
could get him on the podcast? I
This
feel
is a
like he
time
would.
travel episode, so maybe it might come up later. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Elon
Yeah.
Musk. You know, I saw him outside of a barbecue joint in LA one time. I should have asked him to join our podcast. He was
I
just
feel
standing
like
there
he
with his
would.
Tesla in the middle of the fucking road with like one door open. He was just like walking around staring at it, and I was like, it's a car,
I
bro.
feel
Like,
like
get in. Please move out of the way. My lift is here.
He's a beautiful
I mean, he's
man.
not human, so you have to understand.
That's true. I mean, his name is Musk.
Same.
I mean,
That's just
yeah,
what they call
he's
me.
definitely got a
Musky.
Zuckerberg. I know. I just want to watch the two of them cage fight. That's my
He's
only
very
wish.
human.
Okay, they're better. Well, there's a meme, a Zuckerberg Elon Musk meme. That's like my favorite.
You just
I think I.
wow.
That's our next pick.
Yeah, so it's
Is
like
there-
the
is there
theory is like
Zuckerberg
Elon
and
Musk
Elon
and
Musk
Zuckerberg are
Well,
at a
we
party,
should
and
like
Elon Musk
them.
is bored, and he says to Zuckerberg, he's like, "Hey, let's find like the coolest possible thing we could do, and like we'll surprise each other." And so Elon Musk like decides to like hire like Journey to play like a air concert in the sky with jetpacks. And then he like comes back, he's really excited to show Mark his idea, and Mark is like shivering excitedly and is like, I just paid a waiter. I paid off his student loans so we could beat him until he stops moving in the back alley. Yeah.
I love this. I
No.
barely was listening to your description, but I'm back in now, and I am into it.
So I just stumbled
I'm
upon the
kind
darkest
of
link I
about
might
it.
have ever seen, and it's the best erotic fan fiction involving our tech overlord billionaires.
Wait, does this have Bill Gates jumping over something from a standing
I wish
position?
it
Because
did.
that's my fetish.
favorite video.
Yeah, that's right.
But
I-
there is a Bill Gates and Steve Jobs fic. Anyway,
Well, no,
that's,
there has to be Gates Jobs.
let me just give
All right,
a
let's go back
quick.
to Harry Potter.
Let me give a quick bookmark to that one, and we'll come back to that.
All right, guys, tune in next week when we also. By the way, this is our.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed this is like a classic shipwrecked trope at this point is when we all tune in next week to blank episode and we absolutely do not do that episode next week. So, dear listeners, tune in next week as we do tech overlord billionaires and yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go first because I enjoy mine,
Yeah.
and probably the only one out there. But
Okay.
there's two things that are interesting about this fic, and the first is that it was published 2 days ago.
What? Okay, well, I'm sorry. Actually, this is going to look
Okay,
really bad for us.
back
We
up.
definitely do not research. I mean, we don't do our research like 30 minutes before we record. With this is like weeks in advance, obviously.
I don't know
We have
about you
time.
guys. I've been researching for this episode my entire fucking life. So I just need you to know that. Like, and just for our listeners, Harry Potter is the most it's the most prolific fandom on the net still. There's still more
There's
Harry
not
Potter
even
fan fiction than
Supernatural
there
or
is
Doctor
for any
Who?
other.
Or not even Star
Supernatural.
Trek, the
Yep,
original?
Still the most. No, I think it's because Harry Potter
Yeah.
like started before anyone, so they've gotta.
Star Trek,
it's
the
still
original
going.
series, started before Harry Potter. So you want to fight
Okay.
me on this one? You want to fucking fight me right now?
No. But no. What I'm saying is, people started writing fan fiction for Harry Potter like first because it was that whole generation that like started with the fan fiction.
No, I mean they're
Not
the
that
ones who
obviously
invented
Star Trek was
slash
first,
fiction.
but not the.
I mean, not invented, but I mean slash fiction was truly popularized because of the Kirk Spock. You know what? We'll do fan fiction history another episode. Let's go into Harry Potter.
Yeah, we'll do that because I'll fight you. I'll fight you on
next
this.
week for
All right.
a fight.
just some like nondescript fight.
Just a fight.
I don't know. Maybe this will be the episode that people start to pay attention because they'll be like, "That bitch was wrong. This is the biggest fandom on the internet." And I'll be like, "Oh yeah,
that's right.
That's hopeful.
Please at me."
And the second most interesting about this fic is that it's an Albus Gellert fic.
Okay.
What?
Can you
That's
explain
what I
who
said.
Gellert is?
When you
probably
said
can't-
Gellert, I thought you meant like Ross Geller.
It's a Dumbledore Grindelwald fic.
It's a reverse surprise Harry Potter where it's surprise friends.
No.
Amazing. All right, so this fic is called Not a Romance by Like Firing. And this is all in lowercase. I don't know if that's important, but I feel like it is. And it opens with a quote from the poet Richard Sykin. No, I've never heard of him either.
No.
A man takes his sadness down to the river and throws it in the river.
A what?
then
A
he's still
sadness?
left. With the river, a man takes his sadness and throws it away, but then he's still left with his hands.
Is this like a hurt angst fic?
Oh yeah,
Is the sadness his kidney?
that's a waste of a kidney if you ask me.
He's
My-
taking it out.
My kidney's pretty sad.
Okay. So here's a story. You're a boy and you fall in love and you know you're dead because you're a boy and you're in love with a boy, and boys who like boys don't have happy endings. They have fairy tales.
They have slash fiction.
Here's our beginning. You sitting on his bed, staring at his face, laughing at something he said. You sitting on your couch 5 years later. The monster you've made up staring up at you through inky pages and excited script. That is how you think your story ends. You're not the villain, but you're so damn close. So damn close. You can taste his sin on your lips, but you haven't even touched him because he's a boy who doesn't like boys, and you hate yourself for being who you are. Maybe one day you'll talk. Maybe one day it'll go wrong. Maybe history can rewrite your story. Maybe you can rewrite your story so you're the hero and he's the villain. He deserves it. Not because he's radical or wrong or because the curtains over his heart are closed. He deserves it because he loves something like power, and you don't care. It's not you, so you don't care. You're the poster man, the good wizard, and you pulled him 6 feet under. Maybe years too early. It doesn't matter. And you're such a good person, Albus. The world preaches your goodness like a mantra. So pure, everything anyone would ever want. Anyone but him. Sitting in that prison with walls that close in... Sitting in that prison with walls that close in like your fury. Here's our real end. You thought you were never the villain. You thought you were just really damn close. Let's sit through a lesson about souls, Professor. Maybe you'll have to leave. Need to find yours. There's a void in your being where your soul was. Maybe that's why it takes so long for you to rot away. You don't need the potions, not really, but you need to pretend like you're a good person. You need to keep on pretending because that's what you do, Albus. You pretend. So here's the end of a story. You're dead, he's not. Yeah, you were right at the beginning. Boys who like boys don't get happy endings. They get hell. The end.
Yikes.
Right?
That,
Who hurt you?
That's, yeah, who hurt you. Honestly, I feel that way about a lot of Harry Potter fics, like who hurt you, but I was pretty dark
It was
into
Harry
the...
Potter that hurt you.
Oh.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm here.
It's fine.
All things considered, I'm here.
Harry Potter is a very angsty fandom.
Is it as angsty as Stucky, did you find?
I think it just depends on the ship. So, like, there's some ships that are just inherently angsty, which is all of the Dumbledore and Grindelwald fics are always angsty.
Do you call that Dumbledore?
I mean, I hope
Can
so.
You?
It's
or
like
Grindeldore.
Grindeldore. I bet that's the word. Let's see. Dumbledore.
Look at the tags.
Grindelwald.
I didn't read the description. It was a boy who likes boys is a dead boy.
No.
Oh,
too
yeah.
much boy.
Yep. No. Okay.
Boys.
Dumbledore Grindelwald, also known as Grindeldore or Greater Good. It's just called Greater Good. It's a canon slash ship.
That's awful.
Yeah.
I don't care for that nonsense. Greater Good. Dumbledore, garbage. Grindelwald, garbager.
Taneen's got some serious Dumbledore. You probably would like the evil Dumbledore fics.
No, he's not evil. He just needs to not be around.
I mean, he's kind of not.
He's dead, Taneen.
Spoilers, guys. Snape kills Dumbledore. Where were you when you found out Snape kills Dumbledore? That's what I want to know. Oh, man. That's rough.
That's rough.
So I just want to take a moment, because I'm still upset about the Cursed Child, to read you guys some of the best stage cues that are actual stage cues in the play.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my favorites is Ron enters on a staircase, his side parting, now super aggressive.
Hell yeah. He's like emo Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3.
Another great one is Albus hands Scorpius some green foliage in a bag. My personal favorite, Draco bounces Harry up and down on the table.
Same.
On his dick.
I mean, who knows? This is just what's going.
It's for the director to decide.
Another good one. Professor McGonagall is full of unhappiness. Harry is full of purpose, and Ginny is not sure what she's supposed to be.
Same.
So we can all relate to that. Yeah, I just am still convinced that this is just a giant joke that was played on the Harry Potter fans, but I haven't seen the play. I totally didn't illegally download a PDF of The Cursed Child to read it.
That's not what you were up to.
That's not. I would always support J.K. Rowling.
It's not.
She needs more money.
She's really slumming it right now.
Yeah, I just don't know how to feel about it, basically.
I think your feelings are pretty clear.
Mm-hmm. I think you're probably right. Well, Taneene, would you like to read your story?
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, you're reading my favorite ship, the Drarry ship.
All right, y'all are about to get Drarried.
I'm always Drarry.
All right. This is a trash fic full of trash people, but maybe I read the whole thing. Who knows?
How dare you? Honestly,
whatever, man.
You're treading on sacred ground.
Just be glad I'm not doing the accents.
You're not. I thought we decided.
New Zealand
accents. I thought we were gonna do the accents.
We're doing the. Oh yeah, because Ryan said he's not going to do the accent.
Yeah.
To be fair, no one actually talked in my fic.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah. Well, it could have been the monologue accent.
Yeah, you could have been like the audio.
I have one fic voice, and you're hearing it.
No.
Ryan's really dynamic.
I just do dramatic poetry reading.
You? Never.
What? Okay. Let me read my fic. Okay. Hang on. Ready. While it wasn't expressed... No, one more time.
You really cocked that one up.
While it wasn't expressly stated in their temporary truce agreement, Draco would have thought that Potter would understand that the personal space bubble was still in effect. especially in semi-public places like the middle of the damn corridors. But no, the boy who lived twice came flying around the corner, green eyes huge round circles behind his skew glasses, and spotted Draco trying to walk and dig around in his bag at the same time, and grabbed him around the wrist with his fingers. Grabbed him around the wrist and yanked like they'd been best mates for years instead of awkward truce to maybe we don't want to kill each other acquaintances for like a month and a half. Malfoy! Great, good, come with me! What the bloody fucking hell? Yelped Draco. Also, he's chavvy now, sorry.
Yeah.
Stumbling as Potter continued to half run, half power walk his way down to the 4th floor corridor. Damn, there's a lot of walking going on, and I don't know if I agree with that. Potter didn't respond until they were into the empty study area, yanking Draco towards a bookshelf shoved against the wall in the corner. Without pausing, Potter pulled his wand from his pocket with the hand not currently holding Draco's and waved it. The bookshelf creaked forward and Potter pulled Draco into the dimness beyond, letting the shelf swing shut behind them. Potter sighed, relieved, and slumped against the wall. Draco stared at his murky profile in complete and utter disbelief. "What?" he began. "The fucking hell is wrong with you?" Okay, by the way, guys, Draco played by Jason Statham in this.
No!
Really?
Oh my god.
It's all I wanted.
I'm saying because apparently that's the only version of the accent that I'm able to do at this moment. It sounds like Jason saying,
Yeah.
"What the fucking hell is wrong with you?"
You're not wrong here.
It's very Statham and not posh enough, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm just
Yeah,
not
you're
there
not-
mentally enough to do
How
it.
dare you? You're not posh.
Okay, if they keep saying Potter to refer to Harry Potter, I'm gonna vomit in my mouth. Potter shook his head.
Bad news.
Ooh. Oops. Don't you read the Daily Prophet? Okay, Harry Potter? California girl, no.
It's all I wanted. It's my headcanon.
Jason Statham and
California girl.
Malibu
California, like Malibu Potter, yeah. Why would I read this?
No.
Draco snarled with good reason. The Prophet has been trying desperately to make up for the fuckery that it was its reporting for the last 2 years with articles on Death Eaters and their families. To inform the people, the Malfoy family and its epic backflip from grace was featured almost as often as Harry Potter, the hero of the wizarding world. That is to say, every single bloody page. So no, pardon Draco if you do not support the morons of that ridiculous newspaper. Regis Skeeter can kiss my... Potter cut him off. They did another soulmate article on me,
No.
which, like, unfortunately involves half this bloody school going batshit insane.
Oh my god.
Draco was startled into snorting, a most undignified noise considering. A hero, think you'd love that. You clearly don't know me that well, Potter said dryly, and it started to walk. This had the unfortunate effect of both Draco and Potter realizing that Potter's fingers were still loosely clasped around Draco's wrist, and they leapt apart almost immediately. Draco bumping into the side wall of the narrow passageway Potter had dragged him into without his permission. Potter looked vaguely sheepish in the gloom, and Draco decided for both their sanities not to comment. Draco's wrist was warm where Potter had been gripping it. Draco also decided to firmly ignore this. Where the hell are we? Secret passageway leads to the 7th floor corridor right by the portrait of Sir Cadogan. And we're here because Potter showed him a look over their shoulder as they walked. Potter in front and Draco bringing up the rear, one hand on the wall. 90% of the school is currently trying to grab me and see if their fingers leave a mark on my skin, and Ron and Hermione are still in like their honeymoon relationship stage, and it's like sickening to be around them. This did not answer Draco's question as he scowled at the back of Potter's head as they walked. Every time the Prophet did a soulmate article, it would inevitably bring the discussion around to Potter and how the boy who lived twice, who was still single, ladies, and how out there someone lucky enough to own the fingertips that would make the distinguishing soulmate mark on Potter's delicate porcelain skin.
Oh my god, no.
The paper
Amazing.
did tend to go on about Potter's skin, as did some rather frightening editorial pieces that fantasize about that very topic. Not that Draco had ever read them, because he, as previously stated, did not read the Daily Prophet. That still doesn't explain why you grabbed me and dragged me in here. Potter scoffed. Well, it's not like you're likely to try and jump my bones, are you, Malfoy?
Okay, I just seen a crossover of Harry Potter and the OC. All I
It's
want.
Clueless. I want Clueless in Harry Potter. The Hadeans need our wands, okay? Well, that conjured up some mental pictures now, didn't it? Draco cleared his throat uncomfortably and tried to purge the sudden and very vivid fantasy from his mind. Not likely, Potter. I don't know why I'm doing this Richard Ayoade, Jason Statham noise for Draco, and I sincerely apologize for those people who do speak with a British accent.
I don't know.
I'm not trying to mock
just,
you. This is my life now.
Changed Draco's whole backstory with that voice. I realized that he's from a totally different place, in the UK, and a different social class now. But
it's perfect. And since we're all friends now, excuse me, I was under the impression that we were truced. Potter shot him a look that clearly said that he was being an idiot, and Draco prickled. Draco. I seem to remember offering to be your friend years ago, and someone thought he was too good for it. Potter sighed and stopped so suddenly that Draco nearly ran into him. Malfoy, come on. That was first year, and to be fair, you were kind of a get. I was not, Draco said instantly, folding his arms, and Potter snickered. You used to slick your hair back like some kind of muggle film star. Now that was too much. Are you making fun of my hair, Potter? Draco demanded, scowling at him. You and yours look like you've been... Draco cut himself off suddenly, realizing that the rest of his sentence was about to include the words shagged in a windstorm, and decided that maybe that was not the way he wanted to take this conversation. Potter didn't seem to notice Draco's sudden lack of words and shrugged at him. I'm glad you stopped. I like it better this way. Then he pushed on the wall, which opened outwards toward the 7th floor corridor, and stepped out of the passageway into the light, leaving Draco standing there for a moment, gaping after him. Did Potter just compliment his hairstyle? Ha! Fuck you, Blaze! People did notice! All the time Draco spent in the mirrors in the morning was worth it. Potter was looking both ways and down the corridor when Draco stepped out of the secret passage into the corridor proper. Draco took a moment to examine him from his stupid windswept hair to the casual muggle clothing he was wearing and huffed irritably. Friends, Potter called them. After all this, they were friends. Draco reached down to switch his bag to the other shoulder, and something caught his eye. His wrist, the one that Potter had just been gripping as he dragged Draco along the evasive mission, was dotted with deep orange fingerprints. Draco stared at it for a moment. By the way, the guy's deep orange fingerprints, this does not mean that Harry Potter loves Cheetos. That is for a different fic. Then for a moment longer. Bloody hell, he muttered, reaching up with his other hand and swiping his fingers through his hair. This was all too much. He couldn't handle this. Of course. It made perfect sense, and of course it had to happen now in this strange 8th year, after a war, after years of school rivalry, and Draco had saved Potter's life, and Potter had returned the favor? Sorry. Of fucking course. Potter! Draco snapped. Already sick of the painful cliche that was his life as a redeemed villain in Potter's epic life story of the adventure and romance. Merlin. They'd been truce for a month, and they were soulmates? What was next? Soul bonding? Mind speak? Bloody secret post-school undercover or training missions where the only possible solution to the problem at hand was to fake a snogfest? No. Draco was having none of it. Give me your arm. Potter turned around, confusion flashing across his face, but held out his arm anyway. Draco dropped his bag on the floor, marched up to him, and grabbed his wrist, rolling Potter's sleeve up to the elbow. What on earth are you? Potter's words trailed off as Draco, with the tip of his pointer finger, traced his own first name in cursive on Potter's arm. It seemed to glow in the dying sunlight.
No.
It slanted from the window, somewhere between red and orange, pulsing with warmth against Potter's skin. Potter stared at it for a minute, then looked up at Draco, who wordlessly held up his arm so Potter could see his own stupid fingerprints beginning to fade around Draco's wrist. Huh, Potter said, blinking rapidly, and Draco shook his head. That's unexpected. That's because you don't read, Potter, Draco muttered, leading his arm falls aside. Anyone with half a brain and access to any novel written in the last 20 years could have seen this coming. Harry. What? Potter grinned, and then Draco felt suddenly like he was losing any control he may have had over the situation. I'm about to kiss you. You might as well start calling me Harry. Draco's ears suddenly...
Yeah.
Draco's ears suddenly stopped working after the word kiss, and he gaped at Potter as the savior of the wizarding world, and his ex-enemy stepped forward, gripping Draco by the shoulders, and seriously? How is this his life? But then Potter was leaning in, and Draco must have leaned too, must have swayed forward, unconsciously meeting him halfway, because then they were kissing! Draco's bat hit the floor, tipping onto his side in a slumped daze, but Draco couldn't really care less at this point, because every point of skin-to-skin contact was blaming... Draco's bag hit the floor, tipping onto its side in a slumped daze, but Draco couldn't really care less at this point, because every point of skin-to-skin contact was blazing warm, and he reached up like he'd wanted to for ages, and swept pale fingers into Potter's dark hair, slanting their mouths together, and bloody fucking hell, he could stand there and kiss Harry fucking Potter for years.
Same.
What ho, vile interlopers! Draco jumped violently, and Potter broke away with a gasp of surprise, stepping onto the side and stumbling over Draco's drop bag. There were a few moments of scrambling, during which Draco grabbed Potter, Harry? Should it be Harry now? By the elbow, and hauled him to his feet. Anyway, there's like... Oh, it's almost done. Do you guys want me to finish it?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Are you sure? This is... Okay, well... I'll not have such flagrant disregard for personal boundaries happening beneath me, the portrait's occupant shouted, and Harry snorted.
Oh my god, it's a portrait.
Yep.
Amazing.
I was afraid that was your Snape voice, and I was going to be really mad.
No, that's
No.
Shouty.
Snape's also dead.
That's right, bitches. Bye, Snape, you trash man.
Yep.
Nice guy trademark. Anyway.
What if Snape was just Ross from Friends?
Oh, new headcanon.
Oh my god. No,
I'm retiring now, guys. I'm done. I can't even comprehend this bullshit.
I feel like that's fair. I'm not sure I know what I just said.
I'm still dealing with it.
You know what, guys? That was so traumatic. I'm stopping right there. I don't want to finish the rest of this week. I'm done.
Oh man. So I feel like it's fair to mention that in this particular fandom, Draco is pretty much always out of character from the books. It's even...
He has to be.
Well, they even have a name for it on TV tropes, which is Draco in leather pants. That has now become the catch-all term for when someone makes a villainous character likable in the fandom, even though there's no indication of that in the books or show.
Wow.
Yeah, so Draco in leather pants, and it actually originated from this trilogy called the Draco Trilogy, which was written back in 2000 by Cassandra Clare, who's now like a prolific author. And I think the total for that trilogy is like 1 million words. It's that long. It's like one of the longest Harry Potter fanfics ever written. And some would argue the best. I've never actually read them, but I just found
I'm surprised you haven't.
Well, because she took them all offline when she actually made it as a writer. But I looked today, and I found them all as PDFs, so someone put them back online. And this is recent, because I looked like a couple months ago for them. I couldn't find them. So I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But in one of the stories, she puts Draco in tight leather pants, and that's become like the meme. It's like, oh, Draco in leather pants, which is pretty much, I mean, I don't think I've read a story where Draco has ever been in character. ever.
I mean, I've read a lot of Sherlock fics where they try and like make Sherlock worth fucking, but
Yeah.
otherwise he's like a lousy day old baguette.
I mean, I'm obviously pro this because Drarry all the way, but I mean, in the books, Draco's just kind of a lukewarm blanket. He's just kind of shitty, vapid, blonde. Yeah. I mean, same, but well. So I want you guys to know that in the interest of this episode, I went, and it would surprise you all to know that I did not actually start reading fanfiction off of fanfiction.net. I read it on something called mugglenet.com, which is, if you have been in the Harry Potter fandom for as long as I have, that was the original fanfiction site. And
which one? Sorry?
MuggleNet.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And so I went to log into my old MuggleNet account, and then I found out that their fanfiction site got hacked like a year ago.
Oh, no.
But they've made an archive of it online, so I logged it, and you can still log in. So it was, my old account was Silver and Emerald, because I am a trash Slytherin bullshit.
Right.
I looked at my saved favorite stories, but they were all too long and too angsty for me to read to you guys.
Of course they were.
They were like 131,000 words, like both of them. One was a Harry Draco, and the other was like a Remus, Sirius, Hurt, Comfort. Anyway. But I did browse through some of their humor fics. And I found this one, which I feel like you guys might enjoy. It's called Harry Potter and the Naked Potions Class. And it's by someone named Oddish. And I feel like I must read you the author's note. This comedy series was written in the spirit of the works of comic greats like Mel Brooks, such as Blazing Saddles and Spaceballs.
Oh, that Mel Brooks.
Leslie Nielsen, Airplane, the Naked Gun series. Accordingly, it features multiple instances of out-of-character behavior, fourth wall violations, and crude slapstick humor. So if you are the sort of person who thought that the high point of the series was the Malfoy ferret dance in book 4, you will probably enjoy it immensely. So you guys ready for this? I don't know if I'm ready for this. All right. It was a lovely and crisp December morning at Hogwarts, and a fresh snowfall surrounded the castle like a deliciously soft blanket. The sun was rising, turning the sky into a tapestry of pinks and oranges, and an aura of magic seemed to hang in the air like the music of a carnival merry-go-round in the far distance. Enjoy the beautiful descriptive writing, because there isn't going to be any more of that crap in the story. On this morning, little Dennis Creevy was out for a stroll. Why, when it was so lovely outside, he would choose to stroll past the gloom-shrouded entrance to Professor Snape's potion classroom is a mystery. But there he was, puttering along on his short little legs, as he happened to encounter a tall, slightly overweight man with long brown hair, rather thick glasses, and a beard with a few strands of grey in it. Actually, the guy materialized in a burst of purple and green sparks right in front of Dennis. "Who are you?" Dennis demanded to know. "You can call me Oddish," the man said. "Hello, Dennis. What's up?" Dennis was taken aback. How do you know my name?" Oddish patted him on the head. "It's rather complicated, and there's no time. You need to get out of the way now." "Why?" Dennis wanted to know, but before Oddish could answer, the Slytherins emerged en masse from their lair and marched over to him. Two of them, Crabbe and Goyle, were wearing hobnailed boots. Please don't ask why. It's impossible to understand Slytherins, even stupid ones, like these two. That's why, Oddish said, as he peeled the unfortunate third year off the third floor and carried him off to the infirmary. In the dungeon, Professor Snape stood and glared at the Slytherins. This was nothing personal against the Slytherins. Snape glared at everything. If he had found 1,000,000 galleons in James Potter's bloody severed head under his Christmas tree, he would have been overjoyed, but he would have glared at them nonetheless. The Gryffindors entered the classroom. Snape looked at his watch and shook his finger at the lot of them. Oh, the I can't do a Snape voice. This is fucked up.
Let's do a Ross voice.
All the Gryffindors are 32nd late, Snape said, with a gleeful sneer on his face. So we'll make it 30 points from... Oh my...
Well, you tried.
I really tried.
Snape, Severus Snape.
So we'll make it 30 points from Gryffindor for each of you. Harry Potter stood up. Sir, that's 240 points, and we only have 7 points left, thanks to all the points you took away yesterday. Snape pretended to be wounded. I'll try my best here. Sorry, hold on. It's not my fault that the second years in your house were breathing too loudly. All you have to do is earn 233 points, and you'll be back up to 0 and ready to start earning more points, so it's not the end of the world. Harry's face reddened by 3 shades. Though exactly how much extra redness a shade implies, I don't know. That's not fair, he shouted. Another 50 points from Gryffindor, Mr. Potter, Snape said with the delight he always got from doing something bad to Harry, justified or unjustified. Under detention for you. Okay, that's it. Harry pulled out his wand. Pili Pernicious. Snape's hair turned fuchsia, bright fuchsia. Snape's face darkened until it matched his hair. You disgusting little 10 million points from Gryffindor, Potter, and detention for you until you're 45.
No, dude, now you sound like the narrator from The Fabulous Life of...
Oh, God.
And now he's going to go on his giant yacht. It sounds like if you make Siri British with a man voice and you slow down the read to text,
that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the story.
More the poop phrase.
So we only have to get 10,283 points back to get up to 0. Harry remained defiant. That's impossible, and you know it. So what's going to stop me from hexing the pants off you? Snape was not wearing pants. He liked a nice, healthy breeze around his privates, but he, unlike certain others, saw no reason to make this information generally available. The fact that you might wind up expelled, as Hagrid would say, codswallop, Harry said. Dumbledore can't expel me. I'm the hero of the story. Snape swore to himself. Little bugger finally figured it out, he muttered. All right, Mr. Potter, if it's a duel you want, I'll be happy to accommodate you. Room of requirement, midnight. I'll tell Filch to let you pass, unmolested. Unmolested. Harry grinned despite the swarm of butterflies that were fluttering around in his scrawny belly. I look forward to it. Ron, want to be my second? All right, then, Ron said. That's how they say yes over there. This fic, I can't. This fic is probably like 18 years old.
No.
Draco Malfoy stood up. He was the sleek-haired boy who somehow resembled a ferret, though not so much as he had once during his 4th year when he learned that Grindeldore auras, real or fake, were not to be trifled with. Professor, I'd be honored to be yours. Very well, Mr. Malfoy. Snape was as good as his word. School caretaker Argus Filch looked at Harry as if the latter were a dead and partially disemboweled rat on his linguine, but he allowed him and Ron to approach the room of requirement unchallenged. When Harry arrived, there was no one there, so he sat down and waited. Ron spoke to Harry. "You look troubled, mate. What's up?"
Wait, are you doing it?
It's Ron's voice. I don't know what to tell you. You're
Jason Statham as Draco Malfoy, aka Moss from the IT crowd. The only two British accents
not
that I
wrong.
know.
So Ron spoke to Harry. "You look troubled, mate. What's up?" "Your sister," Harry said. "Ever since Dean dumped her for Cho Chang, after Michael Corner dumped her for Angelina Johnson, after Fred dumped Angelina for, what were we talking about? Jenny. Oh, right, she's locked on me like a cruise missile." "What's a cruise missile?" Ron had not...
All these mother flippers.
All these motherfucking mother flippers. Ron had still not taken Muggle Stoogies. It says Stoogies, just to be clear, not studies. Never mind. She says she intends to snog me into oblivion. Before Ron could warn Harry to stay away from his sister, Snape arrived, dressed in his usual black and with a Malfoy in tow. "You're 9 minutes late, Professor," Harry said with a malicious grin that Snape would have seen often were it in his habit to look in a mirror just before he punished Harry. "So we'll make it 900 points from Slytherin." The vampire-like potions master laughed. "Stupid boy, you're not a professor. You can't take points from a house." I know exactly what dude I sound like, but I can't remember for the life of me his name. Oh, well. "Yeah, I can," Harry said cheerily. "I talked to Dumbledore. He said he was tired of talking to you about excessive point taking, so he decided to pay you back by letting me do a little point taking of my own. And by the way, 600 points from Slytherin for excessive use of hair grease for each of you." Snape snarled scathingly. "Fine, 1,500 points from Gryffindor for messy hair." Harry spat right back. 2,000 points from Slytherin for bad breath. They might have both continued taking points until both Gryffindor and Slytherin were both hovering about a Google below zero, but Ron thankfully stepped in. "Oh, guys, you're here to duel, not to squabble." Harry glared at Snape as if looks could have killed, and Snape would have keeled over. Hold on. I don't understand this.
Same.
"Fine, but if I win, you give back all the points you took from Gryffindor." Snape glared at Harry. "If looks... What? No, I already read that part. Hold on. Oh, we're just getting to the best part. Then when I win," Harry said, "you have to teach the last potions class before Christmas in the buff. I mean buck naked." "Very well, but when I win, you and all the other Gryffindors in your year have to attend potions class in the same state of disable." Harry was confused. What? Snape reddened. "Naked, you little pudding brain! Naked!" "Fine!" It wasn't that simple, but in the end a binding magical contract was established, and then the duel began. Harry and Snape stood 10 paces apart, wand at the ready. Moaning, Myrtle, and Peeves floated into the room together, Myrtle trying to escape the poltergeist as he made yet another crack about her pimples. "Oh, cool, a duel," Peeves said. "Hey, I'm a poet, and know it." Myrtle addressed the young duelist. "Harry, if he kills you, I want you to know my offer is still good." "I'm not sharing your stinky toilet, Myrtle." Malfoy considered insulting Harry about his supposed relationship with the ghost, but decided not to because he was too eager to see Harry become a ghost. "Ready? Begin." Harry bellowed, "Oculus Crux!" Snape don't know if I can finish this. Snape shouted, "Order cranialus invertus." Zap! Two spells hit each other in midair. They bounced off each other. Harry's spell hit Peeves, knocking him literally cross-eyed. Myrtle screamed as Snape's spell hit her, and her head and rear end spontaneously switched places. I say we get out of here, said Peeves. I'm with you, said Myrtle. Both ghosts exited quickly. Snape waved his hand. Try this, Potter. Serpent Sorcerer. A whole bunch of snakes went spurting out of Snape's wand and started slithering towards Harry, bearing huge fangs. Harry laughed, then hissed at the snakes. The snakes proceeded to line up and do a quick saucer dance, and then they proceeded to attack Snape. He vanished them before they could do more than superficial damage. While Snape was dealing with his own snakes, Harry struck Furunculus. Gelatinous. Snape replied, despite the huge, ugly boils appearing on his face. Harry's legs turned all wobbly like Jello fruit salad. Oh my god, it's almost over, I think. No, okay. You greasy git. Mucus maximus. Gastriagus, Snape spat back. Harry started belching uncontrollably while Snape's nose started gushing snot like a faucet. Erp, gluten gorgio. Snape's butt began to swell like a slowly inflating hot air balloon. Harry's incisors began to lengthen exponentially. Snape snuffled Frigidaria. A lightning bolt exploded from Harry's wand and hit Snape, causing his hair, still pink, to stand on end. A blizzard of ice and snow poured from Snape's wand, engulfed Harry in an icy cloud of white, and turned the tip of his nose for the color of raspberry popsicle. Why raspberry popsicles are blue when the berries themselves are red is a mystery and also completely irrelevant. Harry yelled, Quesadilla! Nothing happened. Quesadilla is not a spell. It's a food you can get at Taco Bell, even if you're a Muggle.
Amazing.
I think I killed Taneene.
Most things seem to kill Taneene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's done.
She's only mostly dead.
Stick a toothpick in me, bitch.
Nearly headless Taneene.
Back out. Taking a nap.
This is actually just bedtime story hour. It's when I call up Taneene and I read her terrible fan fiction until she... Yeah.
Cassie, right
it's
the
like...
fuck out. Good night.
We just realized we haven't
like
recorded an episode yet
NyQuil.
this week, so we need to...
It's why fanfiction.net is still a thing. No.
It's just you. It's just you.
I mean, everyone knows I wrote all the fics on fanfiction.net, so you're welcome. You guys are just lucky I didn't read the Draco Ron fic I wrote that was written in, like, iambic pentameter. I'll read that another time when I get it off my hard drive, but... So yeah, I guess thanks for tuning in to this episode of Shipwrecked. If you have any comments, concerns, usually concerns, or better yet, fic recs, especially if you have anything involving Dobby. I'm trying to find a really good Dobby Hagrid fic, so just pass that along if you find a good one. You can tweet us at ShipwreckedCast, or you can visit our website at shipwreckedpodcast.com. So from our OT3 to yours, so long, and we'll see you next week.